Okay, welcome everyone. This is chapter 5 of the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell. I'm so glad you were able to make it today. We are on chapter 5. And chapter 5 is all about the law of consistency. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Share. There we go. Can you see my screen? Yes, the slides. Okay, good. Yay. Okay, great. Great. Now, I hope you all are having a wonderful, happy Friday. Let's get started. So before we get started, actually, last week we were covering chapter 4, and that was the law of the mirror, reflection. Correct. Yeah. Anyone had any aha moments, experiences with reflection and or journaling, or any any aha moments you want to share? Anyone? No? Okay, so you know what we're going to do, just to let you know in advance, we're going to break out into a couple, if we have time, we're going to break out into like 2 groups to do a share, discuss. If we can get, we're going to just try something different, but we'll see on our timing, see how our timing is. Okay, let's roll. Again, today, this one. So we're covering the law of consistency. We're looking at the importance of consistency as part of our growth. The hallmark of excellence. The test of greatness is the consistency, is consistency. Yep. And that's by Jim Trussell. All right. Okay, I wanted to share this. This is in the book. I'll give you some time to kind of read it and bake in it. The successful person has the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. The successful person doesn't like to do them either, but his dislike is subordinate to the strength of his purpose. By E.M. Gray. Any thoughts on that? Anybody want to share? I personally had to read it several times and like dissect it, because it was a lot of words, number one. And when I broke it apart, I did a bold. I bolded some of the words, then it kind of marinated with me a little better. And so it kind of helped me to realize that I still have hope. It's not like only certain kind of people that are born with that discipline succeed. We all have hope. So that, welcome, Paulette.
Hi.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about self-discipline. Inspiration motivates us to act, but enthusiasm eventually wines. Absent of a disciplined commitment to personal growth and ambition and aptitude, end up as wasted potential. So interesting enough, we can have all the inspiration, we can have all the motivation, but if that will eventually fade away. But if we don't have the discipline and the commitment to continue, then what's the use? So I like it in the first page of the chapter 5. I love this, where it says motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. Yeah, that's awesome. And that made me understand that, even though we have the greatest of intentions to make those New Year resolutions, lose 20 pounds by the end of the year, and like how we all want to share it with everybody to keep accountable, and we're all like gung-ho, to do it, which I have my story about that as well, and sign up and pay for a gym to and for a coach to help me do that. If I don't be disciplined, and we're going to discover that how to do that, there's no sense. I mean, there's no sense in it. So anyone wants to share any stories? Yes, Roy.
My coach has a saying, it's motivation is a luxury. And I remember John Maxwell coming over to the church one day and talking about like how sometimes it's people, there's a phrase that goes with consistency trumps passion. And so what that means is sometimes we may go gung-ho, like, yes, I'm very motivated, but sooner or later that passion dies down, and it really boils down to consistency. Are you willing, like the other quote said, are you willing to just show up and do it every day? New Year's resolution is something that's very difficult sometimes just to keep over, but it's something that we kind of made a promise to ourselves. And then if we break that promise, we're like, okay, I'll do it next. And then we have this bargaining system, but motivation really just becomes a luxury and becomes more of a conscious decision that we have to make.
That's a good point. Yes. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Wait, so you had John Maxwell visit your church?
Yeah.
No kidding.
So that example, he's talking about like, if you want to chop down a tree, you don't just go, like take big swings and then go chop the next tree. He's talking about focus, but like if you just show up to the same tree every day, you'll eventually be able to chop it down, because you don't ever know when that tree's going to go down. So if you show up every day to that same tree, eventually it will go down.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you rightly said. You said motivation gets you going, and that's it. It just inspires you, and you get very hot and active. But just in a little while, you lose that motivation if it's not continuous. So it is said that discipline keeps you growing. And so the hallmark of excellence and the test of greatness is consistency. Because you get to a time in life, you're tired of what you do, but what will keep you going is discipline, being consistent. If you want to grow, consistency is the key to growing.
Yes. You're right. Thank you. Yes, Dan.
And to go even a little bit further, you really can't keep self-discipline for yourself unless you create those habits, those good habits, because what are you disciplining? What are you doing to self-discipline yourself if you don't have the habits necessary for you to discipline yourself, to get the consistency that you need to go forward?
Yep, that's right. Exactly. So let's learn a little bit more and dive into that. So how to grow in consistency? Again, we can have all the motivation and inspiration, but how do we actually, what are some of the steps? And in the book, I love the way he said, again, motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. I just love that. And then he also outlines the what and how to improve, the why to keep improving, and when to improve. I like it. And the way he says, master the basics and then practice them every day without fail. And the example of the tree, that's a good, every day. You have to do it every day and practice it. And be consistent to show up. So anybody wants to share? Yes, go ahead, Roy.
There's a saying I like to tell people, embrace the boring.
Embrace the boring.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of things is not exciting.
Those little habits are boring. They're things you have to do over time and over time and over time. They get boring along the paths, along the journey to success. So if you get weary doing them, then of course you're not ready to move to the next level. And that's where intentionality comes in, and discipline. Because they're boring, you want to leave them behind and take the things that are very interesting, and those things that are things. And that's why they said delay gratification for your future enjoyments. You have to, what does not stretch you, doesn't grow you. What you don't do that, keeps you uncomfortable doesn't really grow you. So you must get to a point where you become uncomfortable and it is not good for you, but just keep going. You will grow.
But are you saying, because to me, boring, you're not growing, but you just said that if you are challenging yourself, you're growing. So when you are doing it over and over again and you're getting bored with it. So my question is, are you growing?
For sure. The boring is more referring to the fanfare of no longer having all the attention. And when all that attention dies down, what becomes your fuel to keep moving forward? And so a lot of it becomes it becomes more of a conscious choice rather than emotions.
Yeah.
And so it's no longer that happy, it's like I'm getting back to work.
Yeah, and it also shows that if you do not have passion about what you do or what you do, you tend to leave it behind. But if you're passionate about what you do, even though it looks like it's boring, you keep going. There's this fuel in you that you're doing something of value, and you keep going.
I agree with that. And I think that when we feel as if we're bored, then also look for those things that we have accomplished in that boredom and celebrate it.
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to add to that. 2 slides ago, this is where you asked what our input was. It basically said, even the successful ones dislike doing those habits. This is how I took Roy's response in regards to boring. Obviously, there's different sides of boring, but the boring that I took in here is even a successful one dislikes doing those things that are tedious, the habits, but that's where the boring part comes in. My understanding of it is that, yeah, it can get boring. There's no interest to it. At some time you get tired, it's tedious. But this is where the successful ones, even though they dislike it, they know that they have to keep doing it because it's what will keep them growing. So that's just my addition to what Roy had said.
Yuki?
Thank you, Sandra. So one of the things, I coach 2 family members, and I always talk about the win. What is the win? And for those of you that have been to our entrepreneur club, it's about the win and finding the win. So I have a brother who lost his, my sister-in-law passed away last August. And so my brother is very, very depressed about that situation. But I keep telling him, what is the win? What is the win? What has improved in your life? And it's him telling me, well, we did this. And I said, okay, well, isn't that a win? And then when you slowly start to develop the win or realize what the wins are, even though you suffer loss, it becomes a motivator to help you move forward, because a loss of a relationship in a divorce or a loss of a relationship because of loss of life, you have to look for the wins in life in order to keep going. So one of the things, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. No, I said, that's true.
So one of the things that he was saying that, I don't know if I can keep going on. And I said, well, each day is a chance to improve on the previous day. So if you don't keep going on, what's going to happen is that you're going to stagnate, and you have to try to improve upon the previous day. And I said, if it's only an inch, it's still an inch compared to not moving at all. Back to you.
That's a great one.
Yes, that is a very wise. Even like when you help someone else, it's amazing that by helping others as well, it keeps you motivated, and keeps you fresh in what you've learned and how you learn, and you get to apply it by helping others, right, go through it as well. As far
Sure,
as
just one. What you said is, when you go through pain, look at what you've learned, and what you're meant to do for others. Because God allows you to go through some of these pains you go through, because there are people coming behind you that God wants you to minister to. So he needs to see those little wins in order to, to be excited again to life. He needs to see those achievements. And that's why I tell people there are low moments and there are high moments. Once you have your high moment, go through your low moments, asking God what he wants you to learn. Learn all you need to learn. And that's why they said repetition is the key to learning. Sometimes you fail a course, you go back to redo the course. You won't get promoted to the next level until you pass the course. The moment you're done with the course, doing well and having good grade, you are moved to the next level. And so when we go through diverse issues in life, we're meant to learn some things things that God has put in there for you to learn. When you get those lessons, you are propelled to the next level. And when you have little successes, it's often good you celebrate your successes and your wins. Those things keep you motivated and keep you going. So he has to look in between. And sometimes that's where the law of the reflection comes in. Having time to reflect, reflecting to see what have I done differently in the last few months. And by so doing, you're able to be grateful to God.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that share, everyone. Okay, so how? Let's go over these little steps and give you some how to do it. So let's look over the how. Do you know how you are supposed to improve? So what idea he provides in his book is to match your motivation to your personality. And I like on page, let's see, what page is it on? It was interesting because he actually named the different personalities, which I thought it was really interesting. Page 72, where he named the 4 different kind of personality types, or what kind of person. And that's under your motivation according to your personality types. Some of you know that I'm part of the Fascination Advantage system. I'm just throwing it out there, but I'm not advertising it whatsoever. But I noticed, if you've ever done the Myers-Briggs, the DISC, they have so many, Strengths Finder, they all are similar in those categories. And so that was interesting because I think when we look at different personality types, we can kind of understand the advantage of knowing how we can improve, to be more successful in accomplishing it. And then the what, let's see, the what, okay, wait, no, sorry. And then you start with the simple stuff. So of course, like giving your example of losing weight or even getting healthy, maybe not even losing weight, maybe just lowering my blood pressure numbers. So you start with the small stuff instead of, trying to fast for 24 hours at a time and try to, exercise and try to do everything all at once to get my blood pressure down. You start with the little things that I can accomplish. Like, for example, cutting out salt. Don't eat salmon every day. Or different things, or not spam. Yeah, don't eat spam every day too. So do the little things like cutting out your foods, moving a little bit more. And then he also mentioned about being patient. Because again, Roy had mentioned, every day it might be the mundane, the boring stuff that comes up. Do it by being consistent, but be patient with yourself. And again, there's no harm in including others to go alongside with you. So if you are like in a slump and like, oh, I can't do this anymore, call your coach or call a friend or have someone alongside you to encourage you, but do not do it alone. So be patient with yourself and help others to be part of that process and that journey you're on. And then the last one he mentioned as well is the valuing the process. Again, let's see. What does that mean? Let me go to the next slide real quick. So defining growth is an amazing process. Growth is not an event, it's a journey. So it's our life journey. And as we journey on to growing and being consistent in what we're trying to improve, we need to understand that it's the process. It's not the destination. It's so much that it's the victory. I remember when I was ready to retire, maybe about two or 3 years out before I retired, I was getting a little antsy. And a colleague of mine, I was just kind of like whining and grumbling because I was on this project that was not moving anywhere to completion. Actually, my goal was to finish it before I left to retire, and it was not going that way. And I was like complaining and grumbling at this one colleague, and he sat me down. He said, Steff, his name was Jim. Sherry, you probably know who this is. The wise owl. He said, Steff, let me share with you something. It's not about retire, because I was saying, okay, I can't wait till retiring so I can do what I want to do and I'll be so much happier. And I was just all about retirement. And he said, Steff, it's not about retiring. What are you learning during this process?
Sure.
What are you learning now? And be joyful in what you've learning or what you're learning or what you're not accomplishing or what you are accomplishing. So even though the failures on this journey is helping you grow. And that's so true because it prepared me for my life now in retirement. So goal or growth conscious. What do we want to be, or what do we want to look like? And so now we're going to take a little survey. Okay, let's see. How can we do this? I'm going to start a poll. Well, it's not a poll. It's called a survey.
Mhm.
And it's okay. Wait. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's see. All right. And it's not here. And why not? Okay, let me see. All right. So this is my first time doing a survey. So thank you for your patience in advance. I have no idea what I'm doing, but that's okay because it's not even on this thing. Okay, well, on to the next thing. Sandra, do you have anything to add to this
Yeah.
beautiful slide while I'm trying to figure this out?
Yeah, it says small disciplines repeated with consistency every day leads to great achievements, gained slowly over time. I'd like to repeat it again. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements, gained slowly over time. Yes, they could be small, but being consistent at doing them. I remember when I started doing my YouTube live, I wasn't that, I'm not a social media person. And I knew that I needed some kind of, accountability partner. I needed a friend to stay with me on the show. And the first few months, he was there with me. But there was this particular day I had a guest and my partner did not show up. I got so fidgety and I was like, oh my God, am I sure I'm going to do this live show? Although I call it a day or, reschedule or something. And I got a voice from my friend, my husband, who told me, would you not go on if this is your life? Just take the bull by the horn and do what you need to do. Do it why not sure, do it while you're not good. But as you keep doing it, you get better. And sincerely, I think that very day I did well. The following week, he didn't show up again. He got so busy with his work and didn't come through. And I found that I was able to do it. So right now I do it alone. I don't need this person. I don't need him to be in the studio with me. So starting to do anything in life, no one gets good doing it the first time. So whilst doing it over and over and over again, the compounding effects. You get good at doing it. And that's what Papa John said. He said, bit by bit, small by small, you will get to your destiny. And Rome was not built in a day. So you have to start small and get good at what you do. So, and just, encourage yourself, pat yourself at the back when you do something great, and you will get there. Though the first time might not be good, but keep doing it. And as you keep doing it, you get better. And that's why I said earlier, repetition is the key to learning. What you do over time becomes part of you, and you become good at it. Somebody sees you and say, oh, how did you get through to doing it? You'll be able to tell your story. And that's why we all have unique stories. Stephanie has a story, Dan, Dickie, we all have our story. We've been through diverse journey in life. We've gone through our path. And so we all have stories to tell. And our stories can never be alike. Even if, I don't think even twins, identical twins have the same story. Everyone has got a path and a journey in life to go through. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Sandra. While I nervously try to look how to do this survey, but that's okay. We will move on.
Do it. Yeah.
Right.
So-
and we're going to grow and learn how to do this. Yes, Jiki.
Could you, on your keyboard, Alt Tab and see if it changed? Are you sharing your desktop or are you sharing the PowerPoint?
I'm sharing from Canva, the PowerPoint,
Oh, okay.
but the survey is in Zoom. Like a poll.
Surveys in Zoom.
Yeah,
Okay.
the survey is in Zoom, but that's okay. We can do this.
You know what you
manual.
do? Can you copy the link and put on the charts?
I don't know. I can't. No, I'm not
Okay,
gonna.
no problem. We could send
It's
them
okay.
all.
Let's just do it by verbal. Let's do it without techno. We can just do this. Okay, here. So what we're gonna do is it goal oriented or is it growth oriented? Okay, so that's the two options. You're gonna either pick, is it a goal or is it growth? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the phrase and then you're gonna tell me what it is. And just shout it out. Okay, so we're doing it manually like old school. Okay. Focuses on a destination. Is that a goal or growth?
That's a goal.
Correct. You win, Sandra. Thank you for playing. Okay, so the next one. Keeps growing beyond the goal. Is it a growth or goal?
Growth.
Somebody said it.
Growth.
Yes, very good. Thank you, Robin. You're paying attention. Fantastic. Just kidding. Learns before mistakes. Learns before mistakes.
Growth.
What is that? Who said it? Somebody said it.
I said growth.
Oh, yes.
Tamalani.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yay, Tamalani, you win. Okay. Okay. So that was basically it. It was just two different things. And we
Wait,
wanted
what
to
do I win?
Oh,
You got it right. That's what she
You-
meant.
you win. Let's see what
Our
it is.
applause.
Oh,
here,
I'll
here,
take
here.
the applause. Thank you, Robin. I take the applause.
Stop. Okay, great. Okay, so let's move on. So now we know, as opposed to a goal like retiring, it's a growth. We're always looking for growth during the time or during the season. So this is again during being consistent, right? To always know where we are. Okay, now I wanted to spend a little bit of time on our whys. Seek all the whys you can for motivation. So recall the immediate benefits and the long-term outcomes for your activities. And this empowers not only you, but others as well. So does anybody have an example? I want to share one before you go. Okay, let me see. I'll share. Okay. Back in March, I got an email from CVS. How many of you know CVS? CVS? Is, the
I
drug.
see.
Okay, so they sent me an email. I thought it was actually a fraud thing, but anyway, the email said you can get a free what is this? Apple Watch. You can get a free Apple Watch if you participate in this study. So they were doing this brain study. It was called a brain study of how to not be smarter, but brain study on activities. And so basically I think it's about the Apple Watch features that they're trying to improve, or they're partnering with it's called an intuition app. And so anyway, I investigated further, and then you just fill out this little form and then send it in over email. And then if you're accepted, they'll include you in the study. And the benefit is that you, at the end of the study, if you pass or collect as many points as you can keep the watch. So this is the latest, greatest version of the watch. So I got the watch in the mail, and I had to set it all up, and I downloaded the app. And so every day, this is the catch. The catch is, of course, it's not free, right? You got to work for it. So the catch is, you downloaded the app, and every day I have to do certain activities to gain points. So the benefit that's driving me to do this is not only getting the watch at the end of this study. And guess what? It's 3 years. The study is 3 years. So I literally have to wear this watch, not 24/7. I don't wear it when I sleep. I should be, but I don't have to. But for 3 years, if you collect all the points, they'll give, you get to keep the watch. And then, the study, they don't put any electronic things on my brain or collect any blood or anything. But, you get to know that you've contributed to this, helping other people. And I think it's all about like dementia and aging, with your brain aging, thinking and memory, recall and stuff like that. So where I'm going with this is that the consistency that's helping me in doing this is the motivation that number one, that I get to keep the watch. And number two is I'm gaining points in doing all these different activities. They're giving me the points, and the points equal cash. So I have $66 that I can spend on anything. I mean, well, you got to buy it on this app thing, but I haven't spent it yet. But you can collect the money, and then they'll tell you. And one good indicator is they have a chart that shows you how many more points you need before you can keep your watch. So I earned 66,000 points, and I need to just get 33,000 more points to keep the watch. And I'm ahead of the schedule. So what I'm saying about this is, knowing what the immediate benefits is that I have cash as I'm being consistent on reporting. A long-term outcome is not only that I get to keep the watch, but guess what? The rings. How many of you have iWatches? I mean, not Apple Watches or whatever. Yeah. They have these rings, the activity rings. It measures how much exercise that you're doing, your heart rate, how many times you stand during the day, and then your activity level and your number of steps. And so it encourages me it challenges me to close my rings every day. So every single day, I close my rings. Not all of them. 2 out of 3 I close every day. Yeah. And so based on my activities, I know I'm getting immediate benefits and long-term benefits. So
I just delete that kind of stuff. See, I wouldn't have looked into it.
No,
I'd be like,
no, but yeah, I know, me too. But you know what? I'm highly motivated by money. I'm just gonna say it. Money and hello, I would never buy myself an I wouldn't buy myself a watch. I would never. Not this kind, electronic kind. I would never do it. But and then another thing is that I'm contributing to society, right? I think I feel like I'm contributing something,
Sure.
to study. As long as they don't have to draw blood or amputate any of my or take any of my organs, I'm willing to contribute to society. So anyway, so anybody else want to share that something that's successful that they are implementing or would like
Flossing
to?
my teeth.
Oh yeah.
Flossing teeth.
I
That
saw
is
that.
successful because I used
Wow.
to hate it. But I want to
Really?
share with you, at the age of 55, I got braces. And the reason that incentivized me was because I remember my parents had very, very nice teeth. And then when I was caring for my father, he had partials. He had partials, and my mom has partials. And I said to them, "Why do you guys? I remembered you guys had really nice teeth. How come you have partials?" And I talked to my dentist, and my dentist said, it's very possible that you will have partials too because your mother and father. But if you floss your teeth every day, Jakey, you have a better chance of maintaining your teeth. And so I remember 21 days straight. If you do it 21 days straight, you develop a habit. So that's what I did. I flossed my teeth 21 days straight. And now, since the age of 55, I floss every day, sometimes twice a day. So I intend to keep my teeth when I go into my 90s. That's all. Thanks.
That's great.
That is great. Very inspiring. Yeah, that's a good motivator to keep your teeth in your old age. Yeah. Good. Working up a habit. That's good. That's a really good example. Thank you, Chiki. Anyone else want to share? Sherry, you have anything? I know you're just dying to say something there.
There's a word I want to say.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It says, have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. All things are difficult before they become easy. The first time you try anything in life, probably it looks, oh, it's difficult. Oh, I can't do it. But the moment you get to do it, it becomes easy.
That's a good point. That is so true. Yeah, over time. I love it. I love that.
So I have a share then. I'm trying to certify in something, and I was really fighting it, thinking, why do I have to do this? I'm so old already, and I don't think I can learn new things. And the whole feel sorry for myself shebang. Well, finally told myself, get over it and move on, right? I've got to move forward. So I gave myself that kick in the butt. And yesterday I hit a big bump in the road. I reviewed a chapter 3 times and I just can't get it. So the next thing I hate doing besides studying is exercising. So I decided, okay, then since I can't get this chapter, I'm going to get on the elliptical for 40 minutes. I normally do it for 30. So I stayed on that elliptical for a full 60 minutes because I thought to myself, I do not want to go back downstairs and study. It's 2 things that I just didn't want to do, but in a way, it kind of forced myself to get my butt in gear for exercising because I needed to up my game for sure. And then by the time I took a bath and came downstairs again and I reviewed the chapter for a 4th time, I kind of sort of got it. So there was long-term outcomes for me. It was very mind-blowing. And still right now, after this, I told myself I'm going to sit down and go over the chapter again, get it down pat and move on. But I still, in the back of my mind, kind of thinking I'd rather do 60 minutes of the elliptical than coming back to study. But this class actually motivates me to get my butt in gear and stick with it. So thank all of you guys.
Very good. Thank you for sharing. That's inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. Okay. Anyone else want to share? Okay, so our whys. Now, another thing, so he also lists in the book the number of whys. Why are we doing this? Why do you have to get certified? why, why? What's the motivating factor? I mean, to keep you consistent.
Why are you at this mastermind? You could also ask that.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Because we want to grow. We want to add, we want to glean from others. When we come to share in a mastermind, we are different. We've read the same book, but we have different interpretation. So when we come together, we come to share the stories, our stories as it relates to the book. And so that's why we can say, why am I into this? Why do I do this? I could ask myself, why did I write a book? What's the reason? I need to know the focus. Like I have a book I wrote and I have a new one coming up. I'm probably doing a book launch in another 1 or 2 months. So you must know your why you're doing a certain thing in life. That's what keeps you going, because you know that you might not be getting monetary rewards, but because you're touching lives, and much more important than the money, you keep going because you know you're doing something that posterity will remember you for. Should you leave this earth, somebody will say, oh, I remembered her. She did this, she did that. So you want to be remembered for something. So we must know our why.
Yes.
Sandra.
Yes,
Sandra,
sir?
share your book that you're getting ready to
Okay, this
launch.
is the one I just wrote.
We can't see it. Put it in front of your face. Yeah, and higher now so we can see it. Okay.
Can anything hold you back? If we still have time, I could just shoot the video, the trailer. The one I'm launching soon is Challenges, the Refiner. When we go through different things in life, they make us better.
Awesome.
Yes, yes. Okay, great. Thank you. So anyone else wants to share about their challenges or what they're okay? Go ahead, Dan.
No. I was waving to Dr. Paulette because she was leaving. Sorry.
Oh, she's leaving. Oh, she took go.
Okay.
She's a busy woman. That woman, I cannot keep up with her too. Okay. Well, that concludes our session. Thank you for joining us. We just want to close a little bit more. And I'm going to give the floor to, we're just truly blessed that you were part of our time. We know the value of your time is very important. And we just want to thank you that you've honored us with your time and allowed us to help shape in some way. I'm thankful that all of you were able to, because from the feedback, glean from each other as well, which is awesome. And I'm going to now give the floor to Sandra.
Sandra, before you say anything, just got a quick question. Where are you from and where is Emila from?
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
You are so sharp. I thought Stephanie will be doing that. Emila means thank you so much. I'm a Nigerian.
Nigerian, gotcha.
Yes, I just moved in here 3 years, 6 months. So that's the language in my community, Igbo. We have 3 major languages in Nigeria: the Igbo, the Yoruba, and the Hausas. But we have over 200 languages. But those are the major ones, the 3: Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. So I belong to, I'm mixed. I'm Yoruba and Igbo. My mother is Yoruba. My father is Igbo. So I speak both languages.
But any Nigerian will understand if I said Emila?
Yes, Emila, yeah. Okay. They would say, oh, what are you trying to say? Are you an Igbo or something? And that's what it asks. But often, and thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate you. Micah, take the call. Sorry, I have a call. Sorry. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
It is said that when you give out your time, you give out your life. Thank you for giving us your life. We appreciate it because we know that time wasted or time lost cannot be gotten. Money lost can often be gotten through other means, But when you spend your time, you see that time is ever moving forward. It cannot go back. So it's forever increasing. You can go back to 1976. You can go back to 2020. We've all passed those life and we have to keep going. So presently, I write books for people. Everyone has a book in them. Everyone has a story in them. So you might have a story, a unique story you want to tell, and you're looking at, oh my God, this looks very tedious. I can see them to just think or look inward. You need help. You need someone to just make you speak out or be able to write something. I like to get your thoughts together. I could also help you as a ghostwriter to put a book together. This is my website, the QR code of what I do. I'm also a speaker, a coach. I'm a Maxwell leadership speaker. I think we met in the Maxwell leadership, barely 6 months. Stephanie?
Yep.
Yeah. And we just spoke. I wanted to do a mastermind. She wanted to do a mastermind. And I'm like, oh my God, I've not done one before, but I need someone to collaborate with. And that's how we came together. And sincerely, it's been a very great journey. And we intend to keep this together. We tend to be together and continue doing some kind of mastermind, some kind of trainings. And perhaps you might have someone out there that need us to come coach them, teach them, or do anything. Please, we're open to referrals. Stephanie's open and I'm open. We could do a virtual session. And if I have to fly down to Hawaii, I'm ready to come around to do it.
Of course, yes.
So I'm also a salesperson. I have a live show I do every Monday. I bring people to tell their stories from going through trauma, trials, and becoming a success. We all have a story from where we're coming from. So no one will tell me he's never been through some difficult moments in life. Every one of us. And this brings out the best in us. And that's one of the reasons that propelled me to writing the second book, that we go through challenges to make us refiner, we become better when we go through those pains. They're not actually meant to leave us bitter. They're meant to leave us better. And aside from that, I've been a salesperson in my country for over 20 years. I know how to knock the doors. I know how to break the doors to go in and get the money from the banks. So perhaps you want to sell anything online, physically, services, I can take you through a class. I do a series every Friday. I try to post it every Friday on how you can sell anything to anyone, anywhere. So I have a series like that. You want to learn how to sell and you want to reach more audience, I could be of help. I believe that if you have a platform like a funnel where you can get people's details, you can often sell to them, upsell, and resell to them. And so that's why I put in the funnel. You can see, that's why I put in the funnel, showing that you can gather your prospects, and from prospecting them, they become customers. And from customers, you start getting money from them. Once they become your customers, you start making money from them. So I want to appreciate you. If you need my help in any form, in writing a book, in social media, doing some live shows, live panelists, you need someone to talk to you or help you put some thoughts together, I'm ready. I'm just at a phone call away. And if you can reach me, Stephanie, my friend, would always often be able to reach me. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Sandra. You are a blessing to me. This was a very good experience, getting to know you. This is our time difference was a little difficult. We're 6 hours behind the East Coast, but it was a very good experience. A little bit about me. Everyone kind of knows who I am. And that's all I have to say. No, just kidding. But again, if you know anyone that, any organizations, I actually work with teams. I'm kind of going back to my roots. I'm actually working with my alma mater, high school, IAL High School, and with the youth there, and working with the principal to bring some value-based leadership training in the school, my alma mater. So somewhere in that area, I'm looking for partnerships on that. And we also had, I'm going to go backwards. Wait, here we go. Oh, here. Some of you asked about we didn't mention this at the beginning of our session because we weren't really sure what we're going to do after 5 weeks. However, we are optioning or opening this option for any of you that want to join us. We're going to be covering chapters 6 through 10. And then those are the dates from the 14th to the 18th. We're going to observe our holiday on the November 11th. Again, it's the same time. There's an early bird special if you register by September 30th. And then we also are including a beautiful e-workbook. I think it's about 32 pages. It comes with the Maxwell team. Yeah. And it's, again, would be emailed to you. So if you're interested in that, you can register. And it's going to be open to everyone, because the way, and anyone you want to invite or whatever, because the way the book is designed, it's not 1 through 15, which it builds upon each other. You got to learn one law and then you can learn the next law. It's not built that way.
Yeah.
It's beautiful because you can just pick it up at any point in the book. And it's kind of basically broken down into 4 parts. The first one part is all about mindset. A second part is about practical application and execution. The third part would be things that are overcoming objections and challenges. And then the fourth part of the book is maximizing for expansion. So that's kind of like how the book is designed. You can bucket those things in any one of those parts. So if you know of anyone that would like to join, or you want to keep connected to this community, you can join us by registering, and there's a QR code there for our landing page registration. Other than that, what else? Sandra? Do we have anything else?
At the end of the 15 weeks class, we're trying to break them into 3 series. You'll be getting a certificate to show that you've been through the Mastermind, the 15 Invaluable Laws, something to just show, I told you earlier on that those little motivations, you can look at it, it's so something small, but it calls for celebration. Getting people together for 5 weeks is not easy. And being in this class, we want to thank you. And that's why I do not take it for granted. I really do appreciate you for making out your 5 hours in the 5 weeks to be in this mastermind. And we want to take it further, but because of the Christmas break, that's why we're trying to stop before the Thanksgiving. We know that a lot of people like break. We like to take some time to reflect. And that's the reason why we are stopping at the 10th chapter. Sometimes in January, we do not know, depending on the need and the request of the people, if we need to do the next 5 series. But I will tell you, it's been interesting working with you and also gleaning and learning from every one of you. Jiki, Roy, Dan, Sherry, Robin, Sama, Modupe, and Shegun. It's been awesome having to be with you in this room and working on the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. You all need to have the book. Please, if you've not read the book, please go place an order, get the book. I read the book, and every page I had something to write down. It tells you that success is not accidental. Success is intentional. Success demands discipline. And so you must be disciplined. And that's why I tell people, I said, procrastination is the thief of time. So if you keep moving what you can do today for tomorrow, you will never get to do it. So get into it all the way, even if you're not getting it right. Whilst doing it, get an accountability partner, just like Stephanie. She will call me, check on me. I would check on her, having someone that can hold you accountable. Get someone that can speak to you and tell you what you're doing right now is not working, or you're doing it right, wrongly, or thumbs up, you're doing it right. Get someone who can tell you the truth, someone who will look into your face and tell you, this is what you're doing. I don't like it. I want you to change. Not someone who will pat you at the back and make you feel good and you just think you're doing well. So it's been so awesome working with you. And please, if you want to remain with this community, please kindly sign up. It's just the $20 as the early bird, but $40 after September 14th. We're gathering and putting some things together, the certificates and the other stuff she wants to send to you. It's like a book, it's a workbook. It will help you to be able to go through the 15 invaluable laws again on your own. You can teach it. You can, want to teach maybe the youth in your church or some other group. But it's been so interesting. I think I think we still have some time. We might want to talk to each other, network, and we don't know whether we're going to have the same room, same people again, or we're going to be having more people. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to meet. I just shared my YouTube channel. If you do have a great story you want to share, I'll be very happy to, get you booked down for November. I have my calendar filled up to November 14th. I think I still have 6 weeks. So I bring people on the show because my focus is we need to be able to impact the coming generation. We have been through life and we know what life is all about. And I think they feel that they have this ownership mentality. Things have to go their way. Things have to be easy. But we need to help them to know that you have got to go through your journey. Because I know on this side of the planet, when things don't go well for people, they want to end life. They want to commit suicide. But where we're coming from, we've been through a lot of tough times. And so we know what it is all about, and a lot of people would be able to go through the pain. So I want to encourage you, perhaps, someone around your neighborhood who has been depressed, please, they need to be talked out of that. They need to know that life was not promised to be bed of roses. You understand? They have to go through their journey. They have to go through their journey. And whilst going through their journey, they become better. And not just for themselves, but for the people coming behind them, for their children and for their grandchildren too. Thank you so much. Stephanie, over to you.
Thank you, Sandra, for sharing. Yes, if any of you want to connect with Sandra with her podcast, she has a wonderful podcast interview. So I'd like to encourage, some of you have our authors. Robin's an author, selling her books. And if any life stories you want to share, she's really good at that, interviewing. So other than that, anyone else wants to share? If you're all in my
what you do so we can get to know you.
Yeah.
We might need your support in other areas too. We'd like to know you better. What do you do? How do we connect with you?
Yes. Okay. So fantastic. Other than that, anyone else wants to say anything before we
We have to
leave?
call a name. Dan can build the cat of the bag. Dan, you want to let us know what you do? Roy?
Okay, we only have about 2 minutes left, so got to make it quick. We don't want to
Well,
go
considering
over.
we only have a few minutes left, I just wanted to say this was a great get together for everyone. I really enjoyed it. So it wasn't one way from Sandra or from Steff, but this was both ways. I enjoyed it myself, being here and getting to meet everyone from Sherry, Robin, Roy, and everybody else. Only because I don't have every picture on the page here and I can't see all the names. I apologize if I didn't mention your name, but I really enjoyed everybody here. And Jiki, I see Jiki there. That's my good friend, so I can't not mention his name. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, so we are gonna. Anybody else want to say anything? Thank you very much for attending again, and so blessed. I'm so blessed. You're all such a blessing in my life. All walks of my life is right here. Areas. Thank you so much. Okay, other than that, we are going to wrap it up. You guys have a great weekend, and
Thank you, Sandra.
thank you. Take care. Bye. Thank you, Cher.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jiki. Thank
Have a
you,
good
Roy. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Cher.
Thank you.
Okay.